Welcome back, everybody. We all know how annoying debt collectors can be. Now they've joined the social networking trend and using Facebook to try and track you down and make their collections.
Yeah, that's why if you owe a debt, you'll want to think twice before adding that good-looking new Facebook friend. Here to discuss this growing phenomenon and what to watch out for is consumer lawyer Eric Seidel. Good to have you here, Eric.
Good
I've
morning,
already
guys.
been hacked twice.
That's not good.
And it's embarrassing when somebody, emails me back and says, "So how did you lose that 8 pounds, Dave?"
Well, that's the key, because they want to embarrass you. That is exactly what we're talking about here. They are using a social network to embarrass you and get you to pay a debt. Can you believe it?
How does it all start, Eric?
It really just starts with somebody that friends you. And, come on, we're all on Facebook these days, practically everyone. You're not really sure about all these folks, but what they do is they'll use an attractive picture of either a guy or a girl, depending on your gender. And you just say, well, hey, come on. They'll probably be a pretty good Facebook friend, right? Well, no, what happens is these are debt collectors in disguise, and then the next thing they do is they go on your Facebook page and on your profile page, and they start embarrassing you with these just incredible things, and they make you want to call them. That's the key, to try to get rid of them, and that's how they'll use their pitch to try to get their money.
So they'll make a statement about you that isn't true, or maybe it is. But
sure.
So does it usually pertain to money that you owe? Is that kind of their angle, or can it be just anything, and here's their phone number if you want to make this go away?
Well, a lot of these, Cindy, are what we call zombie debt collectors, and what they do is they buy debt and they resurrect it. Whether you owe it or not, they'll get on your Facebook page and try to get you to pay it. So what they'll do first, the embarrassment, right, because they got you there. Oh yeah, I dare you to call me. Tell me this isn't true. You call, and that's the harassment right there.
Now, when I see somebody approach me and with what I think is something like a hack, and it's from a beautiful girl, and I automatically first go, well, how many mutual friends do we have?
Good point. That is one of my very first tips. I would say be careful of who you add as a friend. I mean, it's great to be popular, sure, and some people, you go on there and they have thousands of friends. Well, that's just great.
Are they really your friends?
But are they really your friends? And that's how a lot of these people sneak on. If you really want to do something like that, you can make a like page or a fan page like you guys have. I mean, you can go right on there, and then, hey, you don't have to necessarily pay attention to all that. Now, there are some ways to get rid of these folks, and I can tell you how to do that. Yeah, instead of calling them up and paying them, because, well, let me put it this way. If it's a debt you owe, sure, pay it. I mean, I'm not telling people to avoid paying their debts. But if this is a harassing debt collector that is harassing you illegally and unethically like this, what you should do is, number one, of course, avoid friending somebody who you don't know. But number two, you can unfriend them very easily on Facebook. You can use the report button that Facebook has right next to them.
It says report abuse, doesn't it?
Report abuse, and you can report that to Facebook, and you can get that person banned from Facebook, and you can block certain people. You can go into your privacy settings and block certain people if they're continuing to bother you.
And I understand by phone or by Facebook or any other means, it's illegal. You cannot harass people.
That's right.
For money.
There's a law called the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. It's a federal law, and it's copied by many states, including this one. And what will happen is, for each violation, there is a $1,000 penalty for this. And the violations include: they can't call you before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. They can't use abusive language, as you've heard in many news reports. You hear recordings of these people speaking. And I mean, they just cannot harass you. They cannot call other people, like your family or friends, to try to get them to pay for you. They can only do that in order to locate you if they can't.
So if somebody's doing this to you, who do you call to make it stop?
Good point. Well, you can call the FTC, obviously, but I would first start with the debt collector and say, look, don't contact me again. This isn't a debt I owe. If you need to, put that in writing. You can file a complaint with the FTC, which will be a penalty against them, and there are fines, but I'd rather see you contact a lawyer and actually make some money off these guys, especially if they're acting unethically.
I would imagine they'd stop everything they're doing right away if a lawyer gets involved.
Absolutely, because they know the penalties are $1,000 per violation. So what you should do out there, you keep track of everybody who calls you, when they called, their name, and you add all those up, and you can really sue for a lot of money.
So whether you owe or not, being harassed is illegal.
Absolutely, and of course it's even worse if it's a debt you don't owe.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Okay,
Eric Seidel, great information.
A pleasure.
And, you can find more information and other tips by going to our website, daytimeonline.tv, and just click on the link that links right to Eric's website.
We'll be right back with more Daytime, so don't go away.